Welcome to People Should Think. Not people should agree. Not people should obey. Not people should follow. People should think. People think international diplomacy is about finding common ground. We are taught that if we just put the right leaders in a room, draft the right treaties, and apply the right economic pressure, peace is inevitable. But we have been doing this with Iran and the United States for half a century. And nothing has changed. Why? Because we are treating a structural, civilizational clash of metrics as if it were just a political disagreement. In the Ages of Intelligence, Sanyaolu Oluwasegun introduces a metric called the Civilizational Composition Index, the CCI. It measures the age a nation's governance and population actually sit in history. Iran's theocratic governance operates at a CCI of 2.01, a system built on the absolute authority of the Age of Belief. The United States operates at a governance CCI of 3.15, a secular, empirical system rooted firmly in the age of science and technology. The gap between them is 114 points. The math of the stack is unforgiving. Once a civilizational gap exceeds 100 points, standard diplomacy structurally cannot hold. The words we use don't mean the same thing anymore. When Washington says justice, it means institutional equity and individual liberty. When Tehran says justice, it means alignment with a divine mandate. You cannot negotiate when your dictionaries are written on entirely different floors of human consciousness. This is why Western interventions fail. Sanctions are built on a science-age optimization metric. They assume that if you make life economically painful enough, the rational actor will change their behavior to maximize comfort. But a theocracy doesn't solve for material comfort. It solves for eternal salvation. In a belief metric, suffering isn't a prompt to negotiate. It is a test of faith. It is proof of spiritual warfare. The sanction doesn't break the regime. It validates it. And military intervention? It is even worse. Dropping bombs on a lower metric society like Iran doesn't force them to modernize. It triggers a primitive survival metric. So what actually works? You cannot bomb or starve a nation into a higher age. It resets their transition velocity to zero, dragging every citizen back down to the ground floor, where raw survival is the only thing that matters. The only way to resolve the clash is to allow the internal normalization of the lower floors. A society only transitions when its population naturally outgrows the questions of its current age. Change in Iran will not come from a White House press briefing. It will come when the Iranian population, which is already highly educated, fully normalizes its own belief age. For Iran, normalization means the population's everyday survival and social needs become so stable that the theocratic religious rules no longer feel necessary or useful for organizing their lives. It happens through the slow, unstoppable erosion of theocratic authority, and realize that the answers of a belief age no longer fit the questions of the science and technology age. We must let the stack do its work. Because you cannot force a building to grow from the outside. It has to be built from within. So my advice, we must stop trying to force the higher floors onto nations that haven't stabilized the ones beneath them. To fully understand the ages, the stack and its normalization, read Ages of Intelligence by Sanyaolu Oluwasegun on Amazon Kindle. People should think. See you in the next episode.